According to the study by Diogo, midfielders in soccer are known as the crucial players for controlling the pacing of the game, who can do ball distribution, offense, and also defense. As reported by Graham, the midfielders are described as whom technically affect the game the most. Let's discuss this position in regards to physical, physiological demand, common injuries, biomechanics, and related training methods.
In the physical demands for midfielders, they have the greatest overall distance, covering an average of 8.8 to 12 kilometers according to Adamovich in 2016. The midfielders have the highest frequency of passing, fit to receive passes, and most dribbles and tackles in the total of 139 times in a 19th-minute game. And they have the most time of running and sprinting with 14.6% and 6.4% of time respectively. And also perform a great amount of other movements like jumping, landing, diving, sliding, slowing down, falling, and getting up in a game. Moreover, diagonal and arc movements were performed in a forward directions with most frequency of time, which aims to manipulate and create spaces and be in a position to receive a pass from a teammate. About turnings in game, although midfielder has the least turning between 0 to 90 degrees, they still have an average of 500 times of this movement, which means that it has a high frequency of this turning for all positions. The midfielder has the most 270 to 360 degree of turning compared to other positions, which aims to evidate a marker or aspects of match play where players are required to face their own goal and the ball is transferred over, for example, a goal kick.
In order to perform the above tasks repetitively throughout the match, good physical strength, power, and endurance is required, especially in the lower extremity muscles.
According to Leeds and Benspo,
the aerobic energy system is highly tested during the football game.
Both FH and PET heart rate can reach a high percentage of maximum value, around 85 and 98%. The FH oxygen uptake during a match is approximately 70% of maximum oxygen uptake. This highlights the significance of cardiovascular strength play on player throughout the match. Activities such as running, jogging, walking, and sustained period of moderate intensity exercise contribute to the overall energy demand, with approximately 90% of energy consumption in football coming from aerobic energy system. This aerobic activity is essential for providing necessary oxygen and nutrition to the working muscle. Additionally, football also involves significant anaerobic energy turnover, particularly during a critical moment of the game. This involves the utilization of creatine, phosphate, and the accumulation of lactate. Combination of both aerobic and anaerobic system is critical in meeting the physiological demand of football and sustained performance throughout the match. The research also showed that the lactate level can be exceeds 12 mmol during a competitive soccer game, which means an aerobic energy system is involved in football match.
Reported by Christensen K in 2015, the most common injury type in football is muscle injury, most affecting the thigh, knee, groin, and ankle. Muscle injuries occur the most in the lower limbs. 80% of them were on contact in nature. 55% of all injury occur in the last 15 minutes of the match, showing that a lower aerobic capacity might increase the injury risk due to fatigue. According to Olakeci in 2017, the study found a higher injury rate for midfielders than other positions. Midfielders have greater ball possession and tackle more. They run and cover the most distance, which induce fatigue and muscle damage and higher chance for getting injuries. Moreover, back injuries are considered the most common injury for midfielders. With frequent intersection to recover the ball, significant demands on hip muscles, with frequent muscle retraction, contributing to excessive back lordosis and hip misalignment, lead to backside injury from repetitive functional overload. Acute and traumatic factors include muscle strength, trunk hyperextension, hyperflexion, direct contusion, and sitting fall. The study also found that anterior thigh injury occur the most on midfielders. The quadriceps is composed of 4 muscles. The rectus femoris is the only muscle that crosses 2 joints, the hip and the knee joint. It's most often injured. This injury can occur in sprint, jump, and forceful kicks, especially when the player is decelerating after a sprint, with taking too small or too large steps, which involve forceful eccentric contraction of the rectus femoris, in which the muscle is stretched to the maximum. It may also cause by direct contusion during tackling and is called dead leg.
Midfielders need good sprinting, shooting, and change of direction. Hodgen et al. 2019 stated that sprinting can be divided into 3 phases: acceleration, maximum velocity, and deceleration. Nakahara et al. 2014 suggested that in the initial acceleration phase, the center of gravity is leaning forward and positioned close to the ground reaction force factor. When transitioning into the maximum velocity phase, body changes into a more upright position. Step length increases, support time decreases, and flight time increases. For kicking biomechanics, Harris and Katie's 2007 stated that during the back swing phase, hip extending up to 29 degrees, abducted and externally rotated. The knee flexes and internally rotates. The ankle is plantar flexed 10 degrees, abducted 20 degrees, and slightly pronated, reaching maximum plantar flexion. Forward motion starts by rotating the pelvis. The knee continues to flex. Hip flexed 20 degrees, abducted and externally rotated. The ankle is abducted and plantar flexed. Knee extended. Upon impact, the hip is flexed, abducted and externally rotated. The ankle plantar flexed and adducted approximately at 12 degrees. Dos Santos 2021 stated that change of direction is to decrease the horizontal momentum to zero. Rotate the body and plant the foot ahead of center of mass to produce horizontal braking and propulsive impulse and reaccelerate them.
In conclusion, from the above 4 sections, the main joint movements involved are hip and knee movements. Main muscles involved are hip extensor like the hamstring and the gluteus maximus, hip flexors like the quadriceps and iliopsoas, the adductors and calf muscle. We will further discover how muscular strength and power affect injury rate and soccer performance in the upcoming training sessions.
Strength training is essential for football players because it helps reduce the risk of injuries, improves their physical performances in game, and develop better balance. For decreasing the risk of injuries, the youth football players participating in 2 to 3 sessions per week in a strength training program had a lower rate of injury than the players who didn't. Sprinting, jumping, and agility have a greater improvement than the players who didn't train in strength, according to the test from Suita et al. In 2016. Also enhances the balancing ability from developing better control in different muscles. Weighted single leg glute bridge can train in unilateral hip extension that improves single leg strength to perform change of direction faster and more explosively. It also helps acceleration indicated by Stern et al. In 2020. It can stabilize hip adductors and core muscles through isometric contraction, according to Toby and Mike in 2017. It also requires less range of motion than hip thrust, but more focus on the gluteus muscles, preventing hamstring and quadriceps activation. First, supply lying on the floor with the feet placed close to the glute, so the shins almost get vertical, and put a dumbbell on the top of the hips. Then raise one leg off the ground with the knee fully extended. In the upward movement, squeeze the glutes and drive through the foot left flat on the floor to raise your hips up, while shoulders, hips, and knee should work in alignment. And push the hip to fully extended, and brace the core to prevent arching your lower back. Then hold at the top for 2 seconds. In downward phase, hinge your hip to get back to starting position. It is recommended to do 6 reps with 3 sets in 85% of 1 RM. Rest 2 minutes between sets. It is important to start with your lower back flat against the floor and do not swing the raised leg when extending the hip. For regression, weighted double leg glute bridge can provide more balance from the more supporting point from the ground. It can also prevent the requirement of the core stability from the unilateral movement. For progression, weighted single leg Bosu ball glute bridge is recommended that provides unstable service to the supported leg, which can stimulate the football field service and enhance the stability of the lower leg and core muscle.
Power is related to force and speed. Comity et al. 2001 stated that soccer players need anaerobic muscular power to perform quick and explosive movements like sprinting, COD, and shooting, which are essential for the good midfielder. Lotoko et al. 2016 showed that jump squat is better than overhead push press to increase those 3 skills while being simpler to do and less likely to get injured. The same good suggested a 2-section per week training program, starting with 6 sets of 8 reps using optimal power loading weight, with 2 minutes rest in between. Gradually increase weight and reduce reps per set. Optimal power loading is the load that maximizes power output in a given exercise. It can be measured by bar speed measuring equipment. Kristovic et al. 2022 revealed that unilateral conditioning activities may provide a more task-specific stimulus for running than jumping. Therefore, barbell split jump squat was chosen instead of jump squat. First, we unwrap the bar, walk 2 steps backward, and get into a shoulder width split position. The whole front foot should be on the ground with the back heel raising up. This will be your starting position. Look forward and chest up the whole time. Dip into a half split squat position. Bounce up and change foot position. Repeat the procedure. Step the back foot forward and walk towards the rack. Rack the bar. Precaution: do not let your back heel touch the ground. Knees should be tracing the direction of toes. No excessive valgus or varus. Shouldn't lean the body forward during the exercise. For regression, it could be barbell split squat jump without changing foot position to reduce the complexity of the exercise. For progression, it could be adding chains to the sides of the bar to increase intensity during the concentric movement to further enhance power training quality.
According to research, agility training is very important for midfielder in football game as they need to excel in both attacking and defending skill. It involves the player to employ diverse footwork and technique in different speed and angle, often incorporating deceptive action to evade defender and maintain the position as an attacker. In the other side, as a defender, midfielder rely on agility to swiftly and accurately spot opponents aiming to regain possession of the ball. Given this demand, agility represents a complex and open skill that holds significant importance for midfielder in football match. The setting of the agility training is similar to the agility T-test. The player will start from the back of the court. He will dribbling a few distance forward around 10 meters. So when he reaches the grey cone in the middle, either of the trainer will be raise up his hand and call ball. The player need to dribbling the ball to the direction according to the trainer signal. Then he will pass the ball to the trainer and receive the ball from the trainer also. So the regression of this training will be smaller change of direction angle and the progression will be larger change of direction angle. The purpose of this exercise is to improve the change of direction skill, acceleration and deceleration skill, ball passing skill, dribbling skill, ball receiving skill, sensory system of vision and hearing, and improve the football skill and movement pattern by providing a football match setting to the athlete. So the coaching point of this agility training is visual focus and sound focus. The player need to pay attention on the stimulus from the trainer and also look and hear the cues that the trainer give in the training. The other coaching point is leg action. The player need to tolerate eccentric braking force fully and hip fashion and emphasize in pushing the ground away in change of direction and dribbling the ball in whole training.
In conclusion, soccer midfielders need frequent running, sprinting, kicking, and turning. In order to reduce injury and improve these abilities, unilateral weight-bearing exercise were used to increase the strength and power of the lower extremities, while T-agility exercise were used to increase the COD speed.